So I wanted to talk about my new concealed carry handgun that I just got because, to make a long story short, Texas now is officially a constitutional carry state. Long time coming, which is cool. I'm not going to get into that debate. You either understand it, you agree with it, or you don't. Don't care one way or the other. I like it. It strips away the requirement to concealed carry here in the state of Texas, in and around wherever, with restrictions. You have to know where you can and can't take it. Just doesn't matter if you have a license or you don't. But it takes away that permit and the training needed. Now, basically, what it says in a nutshell, it's like the opposite of California. It says basically, if you say you want to have a handgun concealed on your person and walk around town for self-defense purposes, that's good enough, yeah, and it fucking should be good enough. California can't do that. You literally have to die for somebody to take it serious, for some politician or somebody to grant you access to have a concealed carry handgun in California. I give you an example. This is a funny situation. I went up, and when I bought this at the local gun store here in Cedar Park, Texas, just phenomenal guys. And so anyway, to make a long story short, I was talking about this handgun, and you know, this one guy who was one of the managers there, he's like, yeah, I was a range instructor in San Francisco. And I'm like, holy shit, I got to hear this story. And he's telling me about this, that, or the other thing, and I don't know the reason why he's in Texas, but I can fucking guess. So he said he knew this one woman, I forget, whatever, back in the day, he said, I forget which governor, which mayor of San Francisco it was. It wasn't fucking Newsom, I know that. But back in the day, he's like, yeah, the mayor used to come in the range, real cool person. We used to, you know, he used to shoot all the time and this and that. I didn't ask who it was because we just were talking about whatever, but he said this one woman up there went to try to get a concealed carry permit, and I guess this made the news. And he's like, I didn't even hear about it. So she goes in there. She's like, I'm being stalked by my ex-husband, boyfriend, whatever the hell, and you know, he's threatening to kill me. I need here are the police reports. I need concealed carry permit because I'm in fear for my life. Right? This is an above and beyond situation. So what do you think happens? San Francisco denies it. State account that whatever county is up there denies it. She's like, oh great. So then he goes fast forward about 2 months. Her ex-husband or boyfriend or whatever actually confronts her, shoots her in the face and 5 times in the body, and somehow she miraculously lived to tell the story. He goes, this is the amazing part. She actually lived through that. I can't even explain it. So she basically then goes back to the city of San Francisco and goes, can you give me one now? And they're like, yeah, I think we're gonna give you one. And she ended up suing, I think, the state of California or the city, and she won, and it was a big ordeal. But there you go. That is what currently is going on in the state of California. You literally have to be maimed, be near death, or die and come back to life to actually have those fucking political communist hypocrites that are fucking judging everybody from their high horse in their guarded and gated communities up in Sacramento. That's what you have to do to get a concealed carry handgun. I had one because I was a traveling businessman, and I lived in Riverside County briefly, and we owned a home there. So I got one based on that because I had some instances too where you know, some shit happens on the road and you go to these undesirable places, and the politics are a little bit different in Riverside, California. It's a little bit more conservative down there, and the sheriffs and the police actually have your back. I remember walking into the sheriff's department in Riverside County and like, you know, doing the interview process because they gotta fucking milk you for everything with the permits and going through this whole ordeal with the handguns. But the sheriff, the guy that was in charge there, he's like, look, I'm gonna do everything I can to help you get this because I hate the way these laws are set up, and the police have your back. And that's coming directly from his mouth, right? Shit you don't see in the news, right? So that's all I have to say about that. Hope you enjoyed that story. Back to my new handgun. Sig Sauer P365. I had to go out and celebrate, so I went up to Cedar Park, blah, 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 talking about this, that, or the other thing. And, you know, I actually wanted, this was my current concealed carry handgun, this Kahr CW9, okay? Small gun, a little bit outdated, heavy. I wanted to get something smaller than this, so I was looking at, there's this thing called the CM9. There's a PM9 and a CM9. It's hard to keep track, okay? So I already knew what I wanted to get, but I had this other Glock 36 that I wanted to sell because I got that when it was like, I got it used back in 2010. It was just a little bulky. It's a 45, you know, a little bit heavy. I didn't like shooting it, and I wanted to just stick with 9mm, whatever. I'm not debating that. What's better? You get what you want. So I walk in and I'm like, okay, I knew they weren't going to give me a good price for it because it was older and blah, blah, blah. So I knew that I would have to put a couple bucks into getting, you know, the Sig. And I'm not going to go over what I paid for it because it's nobody's business. Go just look at the cost of these things because you can find them cheaper at every gun store, or their prices vary. You can go online, gunbroker.net and all that stuff, and get them shipped. So yeah, so I walk in there, and then this guy was like, you know, why don't you just, how about this? I was looking, do you have something comparable to the car that I was looking for? And they of course they didn't have what I wanted. So I'm like, well, what do you think about the P365 by Sig Sauer? I'm like, I never heard of it. This is weird because how did I miss this handgun? I find out after this guy gives me store credit. I'm like, let me go back and check it out and do the research. I find out that this is the best top-selling handgun in 2018 and 19. I don't know what the data is in 2020, but I'm like, holy shit. Then I start looking at the reviews and watching this stuff, and I'm like, this is like phenomenally rated. This gun is like highly rated, especially for concealed carry. So I'm like, I'm sold. So I went and I bought it, did the transaction, whatever, and I brought it home, took it out to the range once or twice. Man, fucking just amazing. Light handgun. The trigger pull is phenomenal. The feel, the weight of it is light compared to this other Kahr, which was fine. Don't get me wrong, this was fine for me. I could stick this in my pocket nice and conceal it, but this is even smaller. So perfect gun for women. I mean, look at the size of my hand. I don't have big hands, but look at it just sits. Look at that. I got smaller hands. I mean, I'm not got big hands. That doesn't mean the other thing either. You know, suck a dick, okay, whatever. But no, seriously, to make a long story short, any woman that could carry this in their purse, I mean, this fits in there perfectly in your pocket. And I'm not telling women to go run out and get this and without ever shooting a fucking handgun and training. And I'm talking about if you're actually trained to use it and you understand what's going on with it, okay? Always get the training. I don't recommend everybody, oh no, just because Peter goes in, you said go get a hand, he likes this handgun, I'm gonna run out today and fucking get one and put it in my pocket. No, I'm not recommending that. Don't do that, dumbass. You gotta learn how to fucking shoot it. You gotta learn how to take it apart. You gotta learn what the hell it is. Okay, I'm not an expert, but I know a little bit above average about handguns and how to use one, okay, because I've been trained. As a former military, and I went through all the classes and whatever, and I have extensive amount of range training, okay? So, whatever. So, back to this, it's a 9mm, but the cool thing about this is, forget about what I went over, the size and everything, and how the feel, it's cleared, I already checked, but it, you know, never hurt to always do that on your guns. But here's the clip. The clip holds 12 rounds, plus one in the chamber. The Kahr, this skinny little guy, I think it's 6 rounds and I put one in the chamber, or so, no, I think it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's 6 plus 1, okay? But look at that, and here's how they get around it. When you load a bullet in, it goes to the side, and he presses down, another one goes to the right, and the other one goes to the left, the other one goes to the right, and so on. That's how they get away with this. See, on the Kahr here, it's just single stack, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So that's why, you know, it's, again, this Kahr is still a good handgun, but it's skinny in your hand, when you're in your wrist there when you have it in. With the Sig here, it just feels like it fits in your hand better. And look, it's just just a phenomenal feel. And then when you actually load it with a full magazine, it's still light as shit. You can actually stick this in your concealed carry holster, your purse, however you have it. That's a whole nother topic and video. I'm not getting into that. And the trigger pull is phenomenal. Okay, it's not locked and loaded. So I'm gonna take the clip back out just to show you. I'm gonna load the gun, right? So that was I'm like, holy shit. I mean, this thing holds 12 rounds plus one in the chamber. Yeah, that right there. And then the feel, the size, the recoil is fine. You have a thicker spring in the car, which makes it a little bit more harder to rack the slide and the trigger pull. But it's done, from what I understand, to limit the recoil on these smaller pistols, because smaller pistols, you're going to have more recoil, and they're harder to control theoretically. But this one was great at the range. But what else here? So I'm not one of those guys who's gonna get out the calipers and fucking tell you, oh, it's a millimeter here, let's take a look, and the weight is 0.47 ounces. No, it's just like, I'm just showing you the basics here. And I know I'll probably get ridiculed on this because, oh, well, you didn't talk about this, but just shut the fuck up. Go watch another video if you're looking for measurements, okay? Because I don't care. I'm just basically saying, look at the difference. This is a phenomenal concealed carry pistol. Look at the difference. And let me move the camera up so you can actually see. Stupid GoPro moves around, but you get the idea how it's a little shorter in the barrel length, and it really is a freaking great little handgun. Look at that. You can see the difference. So what else can I say about it other than, it's a good little treat for celebrating Texas becoming a concealed carry state. And there's a little of the you can see the difference. Now you may see this other gun over here, and I'm gonna pull this over, get these out of the way for a minute. This was the original, that's the gun I got. I have 3 handguns. They got this one in California. It's a Smith & Wesson SD9VE, whatever. It's a fucking mouthful. Smith & Wesson is a great company, but you wouldn't carry this concealed. I mean, I supposedly you can, but it's probably going to stick out. And when I got this at the time, I knew I'd never get a concealed carry permit in California. I'm like, so let me just get something cool for the house, some defense, whatever, a shotgun too, whatever, you want to do. But very, it's actually a good firearm for the size. It's 9mm, but it holds. California limited you to 10 in the clip. That's too funny. I couldn't even have this gun, this P365, the Sig, in Texas because of the clip count, because you can only 10's the limit in California, which is fucking bullshit. But they passed the law to do that, so I couldn't even take this gun. I couldn't even buy this Sig in California because you're so limited in your choices there, because they have every rule for every little fucking thing. But anyway, so, and then in California too, they have this when you're locked and loaded, this little red thing pops up here, and it says, loaded when up, like dum-dums, like, so they, there's a fucking one. Okay, so that's like a safety feature. So they do little things like that, but this was on the list. I could actually buy this gun in California. So phenomenal gun. I love the way this thing shoots, but this would never be a concealed carry permit, concealed carry pistol for me. It's too big, right? So, you go to the range and you have fun with it and you do other things. But here we go, man. Look at that bad boy. Love it, love it, love it. So you can get yourself, I got myself a concealed carry holster too. Again, it's not loaded. So I'm gonna stick it in there, and that's really what, see, it doesn't come out. Got it on Amazon, Kydex. Read the reviews, you can adjust them. And what that does is that right there, your belt, this part is inside your pants. Your belt, this is your outside, your band. So you stick that, your belt goes through there, and this is, you put your shirt over it, and so it's concealed. So I tested it out, it works good. I got one for the the Kahr. This is my other one. Yeah, that's for the other one. So, same concept, but the open carry is different. Open carry, you know, you get it, it goes on the outside of your pants. Different thing. I'm not going to get into that, but that's it. That's the P365 by Sig Sauer. You get another clip. It'll cost you about 40 bucks here. I haven't really seen them cheaper. I'm gonna get an extra clip, but yeah, I tested this out. I started carrying it and wanted to do a video about the Sig Sauer P365. Just a phenomenal choice as a small concealed carry pistol that really anybody I think could make work, even including women that are timid with guns and the you know, work with this one at the range. I think it's gonna be I think it's a top choice. So again, if you like the video, give me a thumbs up. Everybody's there like blah blah blah, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell. But you know, it actually, that bell, I hit that bell in the upper right hand corner, because I always get people, I keep missing your videos. I'm like, well, you gotta hit the bell. Everybody says it. I think that's why they regurgitate this, like, subscribe, and hit the bell, because it's like, oh, you mean there's a bell up there? Yeah, it's right up in the right-hand corner there. Just hit that bell, you get notifications. So I'll do some more videos from time to time. But yeah, I think everybody liked that shotgun video I did with the Cruiser, the Maverick. So I figured I'd do another one about you know, celebration of the Texas Concealed Constitutional Carry Law that was recently passed. So I'll see you guys later. Hope you enjoyed the video.
Yay!